Right, day 4, we're going to do the roof now. Right, so these are the roof timbers. They are 5x2. They're simply because we were trying to keep it under 2.5, and that's why we're using 5x2. If you bought the build pack and you're working on the permitted development, the majority of the timbers will be 5x2. Some will be doubled up, some will be flitch beams. It is so that you can stay under 2.5 in height. It's not ideal, but it does work. Right, what you want to do is cut your roofing timber. Again, the sizes are in the build packs. And our overhang at the back, can you see the overhang there yet? And there'll be an overhang at the front. Again, these sizes are in the build pack. We've cut some spacers for that. So what I will be doing, I will hold that spacer on the front of the OSB. I will bring my timber so it's flush with the front of there. And then I know the back overhang will be exactly right anyway. Right, so this is how we're going to fix them, and this is what we're going to do. And I'm going to show you the infill of this detail there on the pitch as well, in probably the best detail that I can. Do you think that we're coming down? Yeah, in the best detail I can. Right, what you need to do is crown your timber. So let's exaggerate it. So let's say you look down your timber and it's got a hump in it like that. You want the hump at the top rather than down, and then over time, naturally, that will sag. Whereas if you had it under, you'll end up with pulls on the water. So what you need to do is look down the corner of your timber like that. Looking down there, there's a very, very slight crown on it this way. So that's the way up we're going to put it. Yeah, crown to the top. Then what I'm going to do then, we're going to put this one in line with the let me put my pen up there, you might be able to see better. We're going to put it in line with, can you see there? Is that showing up all right, David? Yeah. So that corner there is in line with that corner there, and then we plasterboard that roof, and that wall is plasterboarded there. They will meet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to get my spacer, and I know my front wall is straight. If your front wall isn't straight, what you want to do then is put one on each end and pull a string line right across the front, one end to one end, and then butt them all up to the string line. And even if you haven't got your front wall dead straight, your roof will be dead straight. So again, I'm looking down that. That's in a good position for me there. Are you in a good position there, John? Yeah. I'm now going to spike it again at an angle, and I'm going to put plenty of nails in there, because we've talked about this many times before. Wind uplift, the wind will grab your roof and it will rip it clean off the building, so you need to make sure you fix this roof down properly. All right, John. So what John's done now, he's spiked it up through the head of that back wall. Not spiked it, he's nailed it up through the head of the back wall. And when I finish this roof, I will go around and I will spike it as well, so it'll be completely fixed. Right, what I'm going to do now is get my next timber. You need to be careful, because I mean, I'm literally 8 foot up in the air, but if you do fall from this height, you are going to hurt yourself and possibly disable yourself as well, which is far from ideal. Right, I've got a 400mm spacer, yeah, so my 400mm timber is spaced like that. Yeah, we're using the 400 spacers, again, because what we're trying to achieve is maximum use of the insulation, and because that finishes at 2.4, obviously 400 divides into 2,400, doesn't it? So there, look, got my spacer right. What I'm going to do now is just nail that into that timber. So remember that timber we put on yesterday? Yeah, you're good, John. So you can see there, look, I've nailed it into that timber, which is fixed to that steel. Could I have a joist hanger, John, please? And what I'm going to do now is attach it with a joist hanger. Again, because I've got very little to fix to there, just that timber. Can I have a joist hanger, John? So I've got my joist hanger. These come with the base, didn't they? So that's your joist hanger. That's how your joist hanger goes. That there is an upside down joist hanger. Now, you can get a specific type of bracket for this, but we've got the joist hangers. We're trying to keep the materials list down to a minimum, so we're going to put a joist hanger upside down. I'm now clamping it like that, look. Yeah, because I want it tight on there. I'm putting it straight, so it's sat there. John will put 2 nails into there, 2 little twist nails. Again, they were in the build pack, one for the base. And what will happen then is, all them nails, when we finish the roof, will be complete, all them holes rather, when we finish the roof, will be completely nailed up. And then that roof timber there is fixed securely to them timbers, which are fixed securely to that steel, which is fixed securely to that wall. So there is no chance of any wind uplift. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to put them timbers like that, 400 spacing, 400 spacing, 400 spacing, all the way to the end. And then I'm going to show you how we're going to deal with this, get our roof overhang there and get our roof overhang on the front and back. Right, so we're going to create the roof. What we've done is we've put our roof timbers like that, and they are 400 spacings. Yeah. What I'm going to do is draw that there is the wall structure, if that makes sense. Right, so what we need now, we're going to have to put a timber across there, front trimmer, and a back trimmer, and then we need a side trimmer, but we need something to carry the side trimmer. So what we're going to do now, we're going to put a series of carriers across there, like so, and we're also going to block up this gap here that's been created by the roof pitch. It's quite difficult to show this, but I'm hopefully now we're going to be able to show you it the best we've ever been able to show you it. And then once we've got them on, we'll put our front trimmer on, we'll put our back trimmer on, we'll then pop our side trimmer on, again, same there, side trimmer, and then we'll cut that bit off, cut that bit off, cut that bit off, cut that bit off, and then what we'll do then, we'll put a row of noggins all the way down the middle, and that will be the roof structure, complete. Thanks, John. Right, so I'm going to try and show you this as in much detail as I can. So we've got a spacer. This spacer creates the distance between the little noggins that support the overhang, yeah? And it also sits down on top of that wall plate. It sits down. So what John will do, he'll screw up through the wall plate. So just send the screw up straight through that wall plate there, John. Oh no, you can't there, can you? Because the window. Send the one there. So what he'll do, imagine I put this here. So he, like there, David, look. So he'll set that screw up, which will have gone into that, which will hold that to there. I will then fix through that, which will hold that rafter tight to that. So I'm not putting any weight on there, because what I don't want to do is compress the rafter down, fix it, and I've got a sag in it. So I'm going to just hold that on there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make sure that that is flush. Even if that timber's bent, I'm going to make sure it's flush with the wall plate, the top of the wall plate. And John will screw that now. He'll put 3 screws in there, and you can see that I've started at the back there. I haven't gone on to that because I don't want it to come higher than that timber. What I'll do now is not put any weight on that, look. And I'm just going to fix that rafter through into there, which will then tie it into the wall. Now, I'm now going to put this space in. Now, these spaces have been sized specifically so that when we put our end trimmer on there like that, our side trimmer, we will have a soffit there, which will be the right size for the 100mm soffit board that we're going to put on. Everything's worked out in the build pack. Right, John. So what he's going to do now is screw through the back of that rafter. And then what I'll do then as well is put a couple of nails through that trimmer there into that packer, and then we'll do again the same again. So I'll do push that tight to that. I'm going to put my finger in there and make sure that that is flush with that wall, and then when I fix this rafter to it, it will then pull the rafter across. And I fix that to that. Pop a nail in there. Right, like I said, you're working at height here, so you have to be careful. Second guess every movement, and then you won't go wrong, hopefully. Right, again, little noggin in there for him like that. You're pushing it tight to that. You see there, look, Debbie? I'm pushing it tight to that. I'm pushing it tight back, keeping my fingers out of the way, and it's flush on top as well.
You can nail the top of that, can't you?
And we're just going to work his way along now until we get to the end. Tell you what you do, David, go inside now and it'll be more evident, you know, what we're creating on the inside. So you can see now we're infilling this gap here. So when we come to plasterboard that, we've got something to fix the plasterboard to. Oh, nearly knock that one on your head then, John. Right. That should be more evident now. Look, you can see there now, we're coming flush up with that wall. That's plasterboarded. We can plasterboard tight to there, and we can plasterboard under there, and we've got a nice solid substructure. And what we'll do now, when John's fixed that last little bit there, Davey will go cut that piece. And we'll pop a little piece in there, and then that wall is completely full. And then what you'll have then is, you'll have a little gap there, but we'll show you when we insulate how we could overcome that gap and also insulate the overhang. John, do you want to cut that just while Davey's filming?
Yeah.
175. It's actually 177, John.
What do you want?
176. Yeah, give me 176. So you can see now that's completely covered, isn't it? Yeah. So when we come to plasterboard it, we've got plenty there to fix it. Our roof will go in there, and we've got a nice solid substructure for the plasterboard to sit on. And then we're going to avoid any cracks then. Everything's tied in. So what's happening now is this first rafter is actually fixed to that wall. So we can then put a series of noggins from this one going that way, and it'll tie all the roof together. We've already done this on the far wall. So this is the last piece there, look. Pop that piece in there now. John will screw that up. Do you want to go out to the front, David? So we've got a series of noggins basically there now to put our side trimmer on. But before we put the side trimmer on, we'll put the front, we'll put the back on, and then we'll do the side. Right, we're going to put the front trimmer on now. It's 4.8, we could cut it to size, but we're going to stick it on and chainsaw it off afterwards. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to let that fly past what I need on that side. I'm going to hold it there. John's at that far end there. He's going to take the weight of it there, and we're going to explain what he's going to do in a minute, because if there's a crown in this timber or it's twisted or whatever, he's going to help me get it out. So what we'll do is I'll push these boards forward so I've got plenty to sit on. All right, John, you good?
Yeah.
I'm going to hold mine flush there. And I'm going to put 3 nails in that. Right, John's got that end obviously. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to sit my pencil, just lower it down, John. Yeah, right, so what he's done, he's lowered it down, lift it up a touch, and I've just got my pencil sat on the rafter. And what he'll do now, he'll up a touch. There, too much. He'll lift it up and down for me until I'm in a good position to fix it. And we'll do that all the way along. Up, 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 there. Up. What I'm going to do, John, is just drive that in because there's a knot there and it's not. Just push that back. Up, 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 up. Oh, too much. There. And we'll do that all the way along, basically. There's awful twisting some of these timbers. Right, what I want to tell you now is, when you've got these boards here, you see that board's overhanging? Can you see that from there? From there, you probably can't, can you? What you ideally want when you've got your boards on is the end of the board just on one or just over one, not like 4 or 5 inches over, because it'll flip on you. Up, please. Oh, too much. Down there. Right. Perfect. And that's the front one on. We'll do exactly the same with the back. I'll show you the sides going on, and then we'll cut off the ends, and I'll show you that as well. You can see the front trimmer's on, the back trimmer's on. Right, what we're going to do now is I'm going to use one of these spacers we've got that we fixed there. I'm just going to mark that. John's done the same. Yep. So I'll know now when I put this timber up, I know exactly where it needs to sit, because what might happen, it might be a bit curled. I don't want it curling in or curling out, because my fascia won't look right then. Right, John's done exactly the same up back. I've already crowned the timber. We've got the crown pointing upwards. So what we're going to do now is lift it off, pop it into place. We've already done the other side. Right, what I'm going to do now is get it so it's dead right. John's just going to keep all of it, just simply because I don't want it to fall, and get a couple in there. I'm going to reach over, get a couple of here, and I'm going to keep the nails back and at an angle, because you're going to have to cut the end off there. You could measure it if you wanted. It's a lot easier to cut it off when it's up, especially if you've got a chainsaw. Down a touch, John. Again, he's doing, that's it, he's doing the same as what he did on the front. He's going to lift them up and down for me. I'm just going to work my way across. You might be able to see there, look, can you see that gap there, Davey? Up a bit, John. That'll do it. Get our way across there. Lovely, John, as it is. Right, so what we've got, it's got a twist on that. He's got it good to height, but there's a bit of a twist on it, so I don't know if he's going to be able to flex it. Can you flex it? So what he's going to do, he's going to screw that timber to there, and he's just going to use it as a lever so we can take the twist out. I'm going to move my fingers. What you should be able to do now is lever that and go like that with it.
See if I can do it with it.
You have to send it up a touch first, John. More. Look on that, that'll do it.
Right, tell me, I'm going to pull out now. That?
More. Right, what we've also got a problem is there now, pass us a screw and impact driver, John, is my timber now, this timber there is now lower than that other one. So what I'm going to try and do is get it up.
Well, I can smack it then.
It's alright, John, I'll pull it up. So what he'll do, he'll pull it out, I'll pull it up, and then we should be able to nail it nice and square.
I'll go out. I'm somewhere there, mate.
And that's how you can get it nice and straight and square for yourself. What I'll do now is I'll cut them ends off. And we'll show you a row of noggins and probably breakfast time then. And all that remains to do now is put a row of noggins down the middle, and we'll show you them going in as well. Like I say, all this information is in the build pack. Everything you need, doesn't matter what size it is the same principle, just maybe more timber and more time, and you're going to end up with a fantastic, well built, best built garden room you can get. Right, we're going to put a row of noggins in now. So these timbers, look, you see them moving, yeah? Now, some people I've seen on the group are going, oh, do I really need to put noggins in? Yeah, you do, because it provides a lot more strength. You'll notice how rigid your roof becomes then. So obviously that rafter there is fixed to that wall plate there, yeah? So what we're going to do now is put a series of noggins down, and then we'll fix that other wall plate over there as well. Well, this room is not deep. it's 2.5 externally, so internally, what did you just measure it, didn't you?
2,355.
It's 2,355, so we're only going to put one row of noggins in this roof. And what they've done, John already there, look, he's found centre at room there. So I'm just going to put this slate batten up, and I'm going to draw a line down so I know exactly where they're going to go. Like that. Now, there's two choices here. You can stagger them or you can put them in line, and quite frankly, it don't make a difference. So what we're going to do on this occasion, we're going to stagger them. John's already pre-cut them. Now, what might happen here now is the gap might be too big or it might be too small. John's going to hold a piece of timber underneath it in a minute. And then I know, if he's got it underneath there, I know, and I tap it down, I'm dead flush at bottom, because what we don't really want is a step in the top or the bottom. So you can see there, yeah, we're good there. Get one in there, and then I'm going to spike that one because I can't get it in any other way. And this one now I'm going to stagger to that side. Right, that's a good look. You see that look, yeah? There's a gap there. So this is fixed to that, so we're going to push that tight to there. And then what we're going to do then is just give that a little squeeze across. It bounced back, so what we'll do is push it with the gun and nail it like that. And then they're obviously 400, so that provides a 400 bay there. Do the next one now. Again, you see it's loose there, but I know full well it's 400 because John's cut them at 400. So what I need is that to go across like that, which it did do. And then that creates us 400 bays. We're almost finished on the roof. Right, what I'm just going to do now is just move these boards across, because the other side of this wall, I don't know if David can have a quick look without neighbours seeing, is like a 20-foot drop or so. And obviously, going down there won't be a good day. Almost there now. Yeah, I've just done then. Put my feet on that board, John, and it slipped back like that. I had a small heart attack.
Only a small one?
Just a little one, yeah. Right, so what's happened now is, obviously, you know, unless you're incredibly lucky on your size, your build isn't going to work out 400, 400, 400. So that timber there is in line with that wall plate, yeah? We've obviously fixed that wall plate. That wall is nice and straight, so what we need now is a perfect little noggin to go in there, and then that will complete our roof. 97, John, please. And it really does, it provides a lot more rigidity to your roof, so don't scrimp on your noggins. They're all in build pack, you know, you'll have your offcuts and there'll be a couple of extra timbers to make noggins as well, depending on what build pack you've gone for. If you're going for a deeper roof, they're fine at 3 metres. You're going bigger than 3 metres, we're going to double them up. You're going 4 metres, we're going to put a flitch beam every single other one. Not every other one, rather. So we'll have double timber bolted together, then we'll have a flitch beam, double timber, flitch beam. And so flitch beam basically is a timber with a piece of steel sandwiched between it and bolted through. It'll be 100mm by 10mm thick of steel, and it'll be bolted to there, so it creates what is termed as a flitch beam. That's if your roof is deep. That should now, that's nice and tight, look, yeah? Pretty where it needs to be, which is there. John's going to hold that like he has done previously. And then we'll fix that in there. And we'll fix that where we can, like that. So that's your row of noggins in. What I'm going to do now, obviously John's fixed up through there. He's fixed up through wall plate at the bottom of there, but it's not enough. So what I'm going to do now is go around and I'm going to spike both sides of it down. Like that. I'm going to do the full roof, and that will prevent any wind uplift. So make sure you do that. So that's it, that's your roof structure. You've got your rafters on, you've got your upside down joist hangers, you've got your front trimmer, you've got your back trimmer, you've got your side trimmers, and you've got your noggins there to carry that, and you've got your infills, which will help your plasterboarding and tie in the roof as well, because obviously you've got a little pitch on this roof now. So when we come to insulate it, we're going to put Kingspan in here. If you've got the time and the patience, you want to infill that with Kingspan as well, but we'll be putting Rockwool in because it's just a lot easier and time saving. But that's it basically, that is your roof structure. We're going to have breakfast now, then we're going to put this OSB-free roofing board down, and we're thinking we might go off and get the rubber just to protect it overnight. Right, it's time to board the roof now. We're going to cover this with an EPDM rubber roof. The manufacturers recommend OSB-free roofing board, which this is. It's a tongue groove one. Now I know you can get a full 8x4 sheet. These are a lot easier to work with, a lot easier to get up on the roof, a lot easier to work with, like I say. They are tongue and groove as well. And because we put 400 spacings, your joints are not going to fall on the timbers, but because it's a roof, you're not walking on it, it's 18mm and it's fully glued with polyurethane glue all around the joints. It will be absolutely fine, never had an issue. Right, we are going to fix it with 63mm ring cut nails. You can see the little ring shanks on there. Once they go in, they ain't coming out without a good old tug. We're going to fix it down with them. It's exactly the same scenario as the floor. So we started off at the front. I've got my groove there, I've got my tongue there. The groove's fine there because our fascia will come up there, then the rubber will go over and over there. There's a tongue on that side there, so I'll get my first board down, make sure it's nice and straight with the front of the building. And I get some fixings in that now, a couple of fixings just to hold it. And I'm going to show a lot of caution. It's quite slippy stuff. Be careful you don't slide off. And what we'll do now, I'm going to shout a measurement down to John. He's then going to cut that piece there, and the offcut will go here, and so on until we work our way down there. Exactly the same scenario as doing the floor, but you've got the added danger of falling off the roof, so you need to be careful with that. And what we're going to do as well, again, same as the floor, I'm going to put fixing, 4 fixings down each joist, but I am not going to put this last fixing in here, which will go approximately there. I won't put that one in until that board comes in, because what happens then, you nail that down, it goes tight to that, and it makes getting that one in harder. So when that one's in, then you can nail there and stitch them up. But again, it's a good idea just to mark up where your rafters are. So what we're going to do, we're going to just pull it tight to there, make sure the roof's square, which it is. If it's not square, it's not the end of the world, just board it, because you're never going to be able to tell. We've got 885 square, John, but if it wasn't square, let's say it's 10mm out, shout your 2 measurements down, get them cut, and square your board off again to start over there. It's like I say, it's not the end of the world. Did you get that? 885, please. So we'll cut the 885 there. I'll fix that. I'm going to make sure it's running through straight, because you need to get your first row through straight. Did I show them on the floor doing that, David? I don't know if I did I? Probably because it's so small, isn't it? If it's a big floor or a big roof, what you need to do is make sure that your boards are running through straight. And to do that, I'm going to get another board, lock it in, put it at the end where it wants to go, lock it in place like that. See, that's in place now, David, can you see that? Yeah, so I've locked that joint in there, so when I put that one in there, as long as it's good there and good there, I'll know I've got a straight line running through, and then we can get us next board in. What I'll do, I'll just nail this while I'm waiting for him. So make sure your nails are set quite deep, because what we don't want is any nails sticking up, and if we have got nails sticking up, we're going to have to punch them in. Again, plenty of fixings. All gum now, misfiring and all kinds of crap. Right, that's either hit, looking at that, it might well have hit a joist hanger, but it should have still gone in. To make sure that's well flat, because we don't want anything damaging the rubber. So like I say, John's cut that. Just being a bit careful, because I'm right near the edge and there's a big old drop down there. Make sure it goes in, make sure he's not made a mismeasure out like that, which he hasn't. Get my glue. You need to be careful of this now, is this glue's going to be dripping down. So if you've got out underneath it that you don't want ruining. Now's a good... John, can I block wood, please? See that there, look, Davey, holding it up. You what, John? You cut in half, yeah. 1 minute, mate, I can't get this ball straight. Once you get your first row on, you'll be away. What I'm looking for. No, that's fine, that one that you give me. Can I have your gun, John? It's a far better gun, I suppose. Although I don't like to admit it is heavy. Right, so I'm out them, got my first row down. I'm going to get now my off cutting. Move that board, which doesn't flip it the next door's garden. What John's saying is we might have to just trim that if that side isn't dead straight. What's it like?
Yeah, it wants knocking at me. I need to drop.
Right, so point example, what's happened there is we have not dead straight on that side there. So I'm going to tap that in for him now. 1 minute, John, let me get a block. Right, that's in its final position now. So John's going to just mark the bottom side of it so we can cut it off. Take that down now and he'll cut that off. What's obviously happened is, so that part of the roof square there, this one's obviously a slight little angle like that, so he's just going to trim it just so we've got a nice finish on it. You can see there, look, just like that. You can see there, look. So that's the crowns in the timber, which is creating that, but obviously this is going to pull it down a little bit better than what it is. No, it's nothing to worry about, it's just the timber. Just makes getting your boarding that a little bit more difficult. Put a nice bead of that on there. You can see that's gone together lovely now. I'm just going to send it that way a little bit. Where's my block? And just give it a little tap to me. You see where I've got the block, the corner of the block there, look, just on that lip there. If I put it on there, it's going to smash that tongue. So it's just on there. So what I'm doing now is stitching that together now, because remember I didn't put that nail in there. Just get it all together. Misfired? Misfired, John? So, it's not perfect, is it? in there, see what happens with it. No, it hasn't it? Look, it's jammed it. John, it's jammed it. Will you sort it out? Again, I'm going to mark them up like that, just so I know where they are. And what we're going to do then basically is work our way along the roof, get to the end, get it trimmed off, and then what we'll do, we'll let this glue go off because it's polyurethane glue, it'll swell up, it'll come up out the gap, it'll go hard, then we can scrape it off, and then we'll sand the full roof down and make sure, we'll go over where the nails have gone in, just make sure there's no little burrs sticking up which are going to damage the rubber. And the likes of that there, look where I've not seen that, look, I've just seen it now. See that nail sticking up there? That's the last thing you want, put your rubber on top of that and get yourself a hole. So that's the roof fully boarded. You can see the polyurethane glue there starting to come up out of it. What'll happen now is that'll go off and then we'll scrape it off, we'll sand it back, and you see the likes of that, look where nail gun's just obliterated it. We'll sand all that back as well, and we'll just take that patrice off there, that sharp edge as well, and off the corner especially, so that we can get it covered. Right, what we're going to do is, the rubber roof is not coming till tomorrow, so I'm going to send John off for it, but change his mind, because what will happen is we'll put it down. It's that time of year now, we'll get up in the morning and there'll be condensation all over it and it'll take a while to dry. So we're just going to throw a bit of visqueen over it because it's not supposed to rain tonight and it's not supposed to rain tomorrow. But this OSB free, you want to keep it dry. It's not, I'm going to say it's not the end of the world if it gets wet, but it kind of is. You want to keep it as dry as you can. If it gets wet, you need to dry it out before you apply your glue to it. So that's that. We'll wait till this glue goes off, sand it down. We're going to get it protected until tomorrow. Probably going to jump in now and do some insulation. Right, we're waiting for the glue to go off on the roof. And what we're going to do, we're going to insulate the walls. Now, you've got 100mm insulation in the floor, 100 in the ceiling and 50 in the walls, which is plenty. You can upgrade if you want, but it's more than enough. Right, this is a cavity bat. It's designed for when you're building a house extension, so you put your breeze block in, then you fix that to your breeze block, then you'll have your bricks and it'll insulate your house. It is 450 by 1200. It's cheaper to buy a full sheet, but this is a lot more convenient and a lot more easy to operate. Right, so what we're doing basically, we're filling up these. So like I said, it's 450 high, so we're going to put one piece in there, we're going to put another piece in there, and then we're going to put his noggin. So what we're going to do is just take a measurement. Hopefully I'll get this right first time. Just cut it with hand saw. It's one of the worst jobs is insulation. So cut it a bit tight and John, that was predicted, wasn't it? And get a little block of wood. And then just give it a little tap down as well. Get your second piece in. I'm going to give you a price rundown in a minute as well. And that will go in there. Yeah, so that's insulated up there. So then we're going to put a series of noggins. Now you can see they've already started noggining round there. Yeah, some people said, do I need to put noggins in? Of course you need to put noggins in. They are the offcut of your 2.4 wall stud. So it makes sense. We're going to cut them shorter, obviously to fit, and then we're going to put them in. But you want them all the way around like they are there. So because we've done it this way, 362, John. Next one's 361. So that's your noggin, and then you're just going to pop it in like that. Drive it down, and then you can see how I've compressed the insulation there. So I know what some people are doing, they're going round, they're measuring exactly halfway and going round, but they're having to cut the insulation more than once then. So we'll put two pieces in, it brings us up to 900. Get your noggin in. Fire it through like that. Next one in, and off you go like that. Yeah, just get it flush back. Spike it down like that at an angle. Again, you can screw it, whatever turns you on. They're in there, nice and compressed, and then insulate up there. Now your front wall is slightly different because it's obviously your 5x2. This cheek here, we're going to do the same, 2 bits of insulation and a noggin, finish insulated. But because this is holding the door there, we want a little bit more strength. We've got the weight coming down there, we don't need to bow out. So what we're going to do, 450 insulation, noggin, 450 insulation, noggin, and so on all the way up, and we'll do that on both sides of the cheeks. Yeah, so once we've insulated all them, we'll get all the noggins around, we'll get the tops done, and then what we'll do then we'll either fill them with expanding foam or we'll fill them with rock wool, and then we'll do the ceiling, but we'll talk about that tomorrow because that won't happen today. Right, so the glue's gone off, look, yeah. What you can do is get back end of a saw and scrape it off, paper scraper out like that. Multi-tool's probably the best job for it, but it's polyurethane glue. Look, it's like an expanding foam type glue. It's good old stuff. And then what we're going to do then, we're going to sand it down with palm sander, just because, let's see, David, over here, look. There, just because, look, you can see that roughness there and that residue of that glue and where nails have gone in. You can see that burr there, look, is it possible to see that? Yeah. You see it there. We're going to get rid of all that with this sandpaper. Now, 80 mil would have been, 80 grit would have been a better option, but we've only got 120, so I'm going to just bang on with that and get that done, get it sanded, get it all brushed off, and then we're going to throw a bit of visqueen over the top of it until we get our roof tomorrow. Right, the roof is on. What we've done, we've just stuck a bit of visqueen over it. It's not supposed to rain tonight. There's loads of alternates. I'm hoping it doesn't rain. And we run short as well, so I put a bit of breathable membrane over the back side of it. Like I say, it's not supposed to rain tonight. It's not supposed to rain tomorrow, but we shall see. The roof is coming tomorrow. The walls are now insulated, so we showed you how to get up to this stage. Now, I'm practically finished now. There's not a lot more to do. Structurally, you're there, aren't you? Do you know what I mean? So, excuse me, I told you I'd give you a little price rundown. Right, rods. Rods cost £343.30p. Concrete to get the rods in, 247. You could have saved 50% of that if you mixed it yourself, but it's a lot more labour. The timber pack, £847.27p. Insulation, £346.43. The roof, I've ordered it, it's paid for. Rubber, soffits, fascias, trims, all the glues, all the trims, everything. That has cost £646.22. The steel beam, yeah, £209. We had to buy the full beam. I've got the other half beam on Marketplace. Might get £100 for that, might not. Tool station. The materials I bought so far from tool station, screws, saw blades, bits and pieces like that, £279. Right, £2,918. Let's round up, £3,000. £3,000 to get to this. You cannot, right, get a reputable company that's charging VAT as well to get a garden room anything less than £19,999. 20 grand. 20 grand they will charge you for a 3x3. I appreciate this is a 2.5x3, but that's like a minimum costing that they are charging to make it worthwhile their while to build it. Obviously you've got labour, you've got overheads, this, that and the other. So they're charging 20 grand. £3,000 to get to this stage. That is why you need a build pack. Please like and subscribe. We'll be back tomorrow. We're going to get the roof on. We're going to put some plasterboard carriers in. We're going to put some patrices in for the TV. I'm going to show you how to put a channel in for your HDMI lead, so your HDMI lead come out of the bottom. We are hopefully going to recess the fuse box as well. We are going to put the lighting circuit in, and maybe, do you think we'll have time for a ring, John? Radial? We won't, will we? Maybe, I don't know. Who knows? We might actually do that tomorrow as well, so we might possibly recess the consumer unit, and we're going to put, so what we're going to do in here, we're going to have 4 spotlights because it's quite small, but we're also going to have a halo light as well, so I'm going to show you how to do both of them options as well. So like and subscribe, and I'll see you tomorrow.